Hello, Prevalent students. I am now going to give a small lesson on analysis. Analysis is describing what you hear or the main features of what you hear in a piece of music. Now, I'm going to play a very short piece, prelude by Chopin, and I want you to listen to the piece, and I'm going to ask some questions on the analysis or the main features or on what you hear. Okay, so that was a piece. And now I could ask you some simple questions like what is the genre of this piece? Okay? The genre is what style of the piece is and which era it came from. All of these things are part of the genre. Who wrote the piece? All of these things are part of the genre. All right? And if you listen to it, you would probably guess that it's a classical or one of those old, very classical type music. Because you've heard classical music before. But because you have to study history, you have to tell the difference between the Baroque, classical, and Romantic era. I guess if you had to guess, this is in the Romantic era. All right, not the Baroque era and not the classical era. Okay, now the reason for this is simple. You have to listen to different musics of the different era, just like how you could tell the difference between rock music, soca, R&B music, reggae music, dancehall music. There are very, I don't know how to say it, but big differences between the different eras, and that's why it's called an era. And so the styles of the different eras has a difference. So for the sake of history, a very simple history question is they give you a piece of music and you have to know which era it came from, which is either Baroque, classical, or romantic, or modern, or something like that. And you have to get accustomed listening to the music of this era. I kind of show you how to do that. You just have to listen to a lot of music of different eras. This guy called Chopin, Frederick Chopin, he is also called the poet of the piano, and I kind of like his music, and he's influenced and inspired by the singers of his time. And the singers of his time used to be very expressive, and they used to be melodious and expressive, and so he made up a lot of compositions on the piano based on that. All right, so my next question is, what is the texture of this music? Because if he is so into the different types of singers of his time, and they were very expressive, guess what you think the texture should be? To give you an idea, this is the melody. No, that's the melody. Now, a singer only has one mouth. So therefore, what's the texture of a singer? Basically, it's monophonic. Alright, so a lot of his music is very monophonic with accompaniment. Right? So what you hear in here is accompaniment. Right? And accompaniment is just that. Okay? It's not part of the melody. When we talk about texture in terms of music with different instruments and so on, you could hear the melody being monophonic, being played with the right hand, and the accompaniment with the left hand. Alright? The accompaniment is chords. So if you want to call chords are homophonic, yeah, sure. You could say that the chords used in the accompaniment is homophonic because it is using chords to accompany. But basically, the texture of this piece is monophonic melody with accompaniment. Alright? And that's how you describe texture. You should go on YouTube and listen to a few lessons on how to describe texture. Alright? But this is how you describe texture. You describe the melody in the different textures, which is monophonic, homophonic, and polyphonic. Remember, the last lesson I gave, or the first lesson I gave, was something of a polyphonic texture, where they took the melody and they put it in different parts, and you hear different melodies playing at the same time. That's polyphonic. Alright? And homophonic is basically just the tune in chords. This is monophonic with accompaniment. And what is the key of the music? And at this point in time, you have to know the difference between a major key, a minor key. Alright? So knowing the difference between a major key and a minor key is very important. And if it's not major or minor, you could say it's a different type of scale being used. Alright? But usually, even if it's in a mode or in a jazz key, you could hear the difference in something majorish or minorish. Alright? And that's how this whole thing of major and minor, I told you that in history, that eventually they got rid of all the modes and say it was either major or minor sounding. Only when it came to jazz and so on, they went back to certain type of modes. Cultural music like Indian music or certain types of music sounded different because of their own scales, but generally speaking, telling the difference between major and minor is a very important thing you should do. You could tell it. One of the reasons why it's so important is because of the key signature, which could either suggest a major key or the relative minor key. So this is one of the main reasons why you have to, because when you're reading music, is this in a major key or in the relative minor? So I'll play it again. Now notice it started. And how does it end? It ends like this. if you are accustomed to listen to different chords, this is a minor chord. It's a major chord. It's a minor chord. It's a major chord. It's a minor chord. Again, it's like colors. I can't tell you. I can't tell a blind man the difference between red and green, all right, or blue and yellow. You have to be able to see in order to see the different colors. Same thing with the major and minor key. You have to make up in your mind. You have to hear. This is what a minor song's like, and this is what a major song like. And you have to get accustomed and be able to differentiate the difference between major and minor. This obviously is in a minor key. Right? It's in a minor key. Another thing, during that era, those eras too, you could tell the difference between major and minor because of whether it's sung in sadi or if it's sung in happy. All right, maybe sad and happy. I guess in one way is a way to tell the difference between major and minor, especially in the classical realm. And that's different. The three eras in the classical realm are Baroque, classical, and romantic. All right. These eras usually use the minor key for something that sounds sad, and the major key for something that sounds happy. All right. So that's one kind of a way to put a handle of what you hear in terms of key. Now, the last thing I would like to explain, I've been trying this for a little while now, is the meter. The meter is a very important and a very tricky question, but they always come with this question. It's one of the first questions I ask in CXC Music, is what is the meter of this tune? I'll play the rhythm with it, and I want you to listen especially for the meter. Now, also I want you to understand that meter is a close relationship with tempo. So, and also is close relationship with the stresses of the melody, or how the melody is, how you hear the melody and where the strong notes are in the melody. All right, so you have to listen to the pulse and again break up the pulse within the strong notes that you hear in the melody. Obviously, this is not strong. So it starts on what we call what do you call it again? When we start not on the first beat of the bar, okay? It's begin with A. All right. I don't remember what it is again. I taught you this already. Okay, let me show you the music there. I don't know if you could see that. Anacrusis. Right. It starts on an anacrusis. Anacrusis is when it doesn't start on the first beat of the bar. And you hear the pulse, you start to hear the first beat on the third note. Right, so I was kind of emphasizing the pulse there and the stresses of the notes. You want to hear it along? Right, that's where you get beat one. All right, and you can, if you saw the C with the slash line, that's à la breve or cut time, and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and could hear the 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and also you hear the chords changing on the third beat. Right? So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and, right? Well, not on every third beat, but on most of the third beats. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3, right? And that's how you get the beat and the pulse. Okay, and you work out the meter from the beat and the pulse, and that's how you get it's a cut time or 2/2, and it's count like 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and that's get the pulse. Now you also notice another feature of romantic music. It isn't the same. You notice how I kind of speeding up and slowing down a bit. That's one of the expressive features in the romantic era, where the singer or even the performer who does the melody doesn't keep a straight monotonous beat. In fact, if you play this music on a computer, if you put this on MuseScore, it will sound like crap. It wouldn't sound good at all, because it will sound very monotonous. The beats will be just right. A computer or MuseScore cannot play this properly, because the notes you have to speed up and slow down within the bar, so that you get the expression of the feeling of how the person is doing the melody. And that is called rubato, R-U-B-A-T-O. It's a feature of romantic music that's why he's also called, Chopin is also called the poet of the piano, because in poetry, a computer cannot do, if you put a robot voice to do a poem, it will sound horrible. Just like this song is horrible if a computer or MuseScore plays the actual notes of the music, because you have to have the human expression, you be able to speed up and slow down at certain points, and even in the expression in terms of the volume expression, you have to. There are different shades of loud and soft that only a human being will be able to work out, because of how you do it. So I could play it one more time again, and you could hear the rubato better. Right. So notice I have to put my own expression, my own feelings into it, and that's what makes the romantic era so interesting, because it's very expressive and the human element is part of the music. It's not straightforward in terms of rhythm, but you can get the pulse and the rhythm, even though it's not straightforward, just for the sake of expression. All right. And that's what makes it interesting. And every time I play it, it's going to sound different, because that's how poetry is, and that's how romantic era is, and that's their type of music. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed that lesson, and look forward to more. I'm going to give you some questions based on this, and I hope, especially Form 5s, I hope you all get how to analyze your own compositions and put the main features of the compositions, because of how I showed you this composition here by Chopin. Thank you.